Oh, I'm bleeding. Cut myself. First blood. Hey there, Mission Control. Well, it's the next day here, and we're going to be continuing our work on the Langmuir Systems plasma cutter table that a subscriber so generously sent us. I watched some videos on it last night, or this morning, and we've got a few things we need to do here. So first, what we need to do is get the slats out that we put in here and put in the water table, which is an additional item that was sent to us. So after we get that water table in, we need to level the gantry as well as the x-axis and make sure everything is level and then secure everything together. And then we'll actually start putting electronics in, and if everything goes well, we might even have power turned onto this thing today, and we'll be getting the laptop talking to it and maybe moving things around. There's a chance that we could get the plasma cutter hooked up to it and maybe do some test cuts, but that might be a little ambitious on my part. Sadly, the stuff for the TIG welder did not show up yesterday. It looks like it was supposed to be here today as well, but it did not get on the truck this morning. So we continue to fill our time with these projects that need to get done here. This one's obviously prudent and important to have, so it's just so amazing that they sent this. I can't say thank you enough. I'm really grateful for that. As far as the 3D printer goes, I was hoping to have a grow box done, but we are having a problem getting prints coming off right now. I spoke to the manufacturer. Our theory is that it's getting, because of the temperature outside and with the heater and everything that's going in the 3D printer, that the filament's getting a little weak as it comes in, and it's creating a grinding situation. So we've got some experiments that we're going to be doing today, leaving the hood open, turning off one of the heat plates in the 3D printer. We've got the air conditioning going in there. In the office right now, it's over there, so I get all the nice hot air right here. We're going to see how that goes, and hopefully we get that resolved, because we need those grow boxes so we can start doing our testing. All right, so we got to get these out of here. You might notice I got my shoulder brace back on. Something's wrong with this shoulder. I think feels like a loose tendon or something. It's actually quite painful. Not in the I'm going to the hospital because it hurts kind of way, but in the it's really annoying, painful kind of way. Goes that way. The front here and visually center it. Looks like we're going to have to drill some holes. That's about a ½ inch. That's about a ½ inch. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Pretty darn good. That's nice. Self-tapping screws. Love it. Whoa. Self-drilling. Drain here. Now I got to get some solution to put in here. I didn't buy that. Honestly, I didn't know I had a water table. So thanks again. Pretty freaking awesome. And this is important. This has got to go in before we do the step of leveling it, because everything gets leveled to the table. The only thing I would say is I miss having that middle one there, because it would keep those things from bowing a little bit, but they know what they're doing better than I do. So we'll just do what they say. This is pretty neat. You loosen up some bolts over on the end of the carriage so that you get some movement here. And they've measured everything. And this is why we had to put the water table in, because you're supposed to be right at the vertex. you drop this holding pin down that holds your handle, and then this can move around. And as long as it hits that vertex correctly, then you're aligned. Or so they say. And then it says you just come back and tighten everything up. And you're good. Not too much torque. Having that shoulder brace on really does make a difference. I can feel it's already, the pain has dropped quite a bit just having that extra support. What I don't like about wearing braces and such is that you tend to give your body a break from having to work and do its own thing. Your body's just so amazing. God created such an amazing machine with the human body. It knows how to heal itself way better than we do. That's for darn sure. Especially with all the garbage that's out there today. But to that point, I don't like to put braces on for a long time because then your body doesn't, you know, it's given a crutch, so to speak. So I try to put the brace on and get it off as quickly as I can. I watched some more of the instructions. I wanted to correct myself. That particular vertex concept is just your starting point. You actually have to go through and repeat the process multiple times. I ended up going through and measuring everything. That seemed to be the faster way to do it compared to what they were doing. They were doing an iterative change, set, go, move type of thing, and I just went and measured the whole thing. So now I'm going to tighten it up, and we'll make sure that it's level. Oh. Boy, the magnet on that sucks. Oh, it's nice working on a clean floor. This shop's turned out pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with it. I wonder what's going to be the next improvement we do. You know, besides adding a plasma table. Ventilation system, perhaps? Makes sense. Got lots of fab parts in here now. Fab capability in here now. We should have a vent system. What would you guys do next? All right, I'll put this in here. Blink. Now that we have all the cables plugged in, all the electronics are set, everything is really ready to go. We finished all the instructions for the assembly. The next set of instructions require us to go get a computer, and then we'll actually start getting into the plasma cutter install. So I just happen to have an old laptop. It's been out at the site there that we've used for connectivity out there. I'm going to go grab it, and we'll get it brought up here and see what we can do. Well, I don't have a good work spot for this quite yet. We got to figure that all out. But I've downloaded the Mach 3 software, which is the control software for this plasma cutting table. And I've got the laptop set up just on the grow tower that I'm working on here. So we're going to follow the instructions, and so far I just turned it on, which is the instructions, and we'll see what happens next. All right, so I had a little bit, pause that. I had a little bit of a hiccup here, so I had to go off camera, and I contacted Langmuir Systems. I had everything connected, and I've got the software up. I've been following the application, the YouTube videos that they have for the setup, and I wasn't getting anything happening. Luckily, there's a common problem apparently. Well, in their exact words, it's not common, but it happens enough to where it's on their radar, end quote. There was a bad USB cable, so now I am able to. What's going on? Okay, all right, as soon as I've been doing this. Oh man, why is it me? I was doing it, I had controlled it, I had done everything, I tested it, and of course, as soon as I turned the camera on, you had to know. There we go. There we are. I don't know what the problem was. I think this is getting to be a pretty old laptop here. and it might have some of its own issues, but now I can send everybody to 0. That's not 0, and that's not 0. So I have to go through and set up 0, which is what I'm watching. I'm a quarter of a way through. So I just wanted to show you that. We got more stuff to do here. We got the break-in program running here. So it's just going to go back and forth quite a few times along the diagonal. The only problem I really had here is motors and the limits that they have inside of them. If you crank stuff and turn the motor manually, you kind of screw stuff up. So you got to power it down, disconnect the USB, and kind of reset the system. Plug it all back in and reestablish 0 on everything, and life is good. So this is looking really good. I think our next step is actually connecting a plasma cutter to it. So we got to get into the plasma cutter here, attach some wires. This has been unplugged for days, just for those wondering. So I have the instruction manual out for my particular plasma cutter, and I've identified the jumper wire, or the wires in the connector that are the ones that we're supposed to splice into. I am going to use continuity to verify by first checking, and this is in the Langmuir instructions. This isn't because I know this. Checking the pins that are supposed to be without continuity when the trigger's off, and with continuity when the trigger's on, and it confirms what's in the manual. So yay, the manual's right. Now we got to find it inside of this guy. Those come in, and it's supposed to be coming off of the other side here. And of course they have it really, really tight in there. I got this covering on here, and it says in the torch that these are going to be color coded, but they're not. But it's still, that's what we got. That goes in there, so it's those two right there. So we need to get a razor blade knife, cut that back a little bit, and then we can splice in. All right. I don't want to cut in the wire, obviously. Just a little splice here. Surgery. There's 2 wires that we need access to. Stay away from the primaries there. Don't need to create a short. That's for darn sure. Do a wire inspection, just make sure I didn't cut into it. I was going really soft, so I don't think, yeah, that looks good. Okay, those are our 2 wires right there. They're on top. That's the ones. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm going to be putting a hole now into the metal, going out the bottom so that we can run the wire out the very bottom. It won't touch the ground because we have these feet here, and what this will allow us to do is keeping water out if we're out working in bad conditions. You know, I just need to nick this corner here if I can get it to go. Nothing back there, and there's already a notch on the other side, so if I can just get this to go through, it must be 4 o'clock, then I should be able to just route the wire through there. Minimal issue. That's perfect. So here you can see what we did. We just created that little gap in there so that we can run this cabling out. Oh, of course, just a little too much right there. Oh, it's exactly the right size hole and everything. But there's just enough there to stop me. So I'm gonna have to get more evasive, which I'm not excited about. That was perfect. See, hardly anything there. All right, let's get into it. No matter what I do here, I've got to blow this all out so I can make sure there's no bad parts in there. Create shorts. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. So that's the cable that comes out, and then we're going to route it up. That's exactly what I wanted. Now I don't have, they got a bunch of cable shrouding on it, so I don't think we need to get too overly concerned with that pinching. But I think I'm going to put a zip tie down there and make sure it stays in this spot so it doesn't move a lot. And then they want us to use these little guys. All right, so here. Let's put a big chunk of metal down there. One. Okay, next one. Oh, get out of there, buddy. One, I certainly don't need to put it on two of them, so then that's going to come just like that. That back through there, down. But before we get too crazy, we've got to retest the continuity. All right, now doing all this one-handed is tough. There we go. Let's blow this pop stand. Okay. Now we can start the process of putting this guy back together. Minimally evasive as far as different options that I was thinking for that wire. So I really like this, how it turned out here. And we'll probably put a piece of tape on there. Oh, I'm bleeding. Cut myself. First blood. I don't have any mounting solution for this, but this is a candidate for a 3D printer between there and there and create a little pathway for this thing to go in. That'll keep it from flexing on this point here. We got the cable shield in there, so we're not going to get a short. This is not a heavy current wire. This is a small current wire. It's just a switch. So we're not going to worry about heat for right now. That's good enough. Now we need to do a little bit of the truffle shuffle here and start moving stuff around so we can actually do a print or a test. But there's a computer mount that mounts on here, and I have that coming. So that's going to be nice when that does get here. But now we need to set this up. I kind of want out of the way, just temporarily over here, so I can still work over there. Not that it matters, you can roll it. This is all we got to do. This is the cable we just put in. Okay. So then, this simply connects right there. And we got to connect everything else now, but we did that part. Run this over here. I got an extension cord from the USB. Positive. Got to run this torch out and then mount it. I'm supposed to mount it sideways there. And there's a little tool. Tighten that for now. This real point of this part of the exercise is to get it so we have enough. What's that gonna do? Oh, yeah, that's too low. Glad we tested it that way. Lift it up. I think we want it like that, because otherwise it's gonna hit something. All right, now if I move this around, get an idea of how it's gonna see. And if I drop that down where the metal's at, that's gonna whack it. That's fine, but it's that whacking. That's where it wants to be. It wants to be right there. That would be nice. In theory, everything is set up correctly. I've got my safety goggles on, and we're gonna make sure the torch is turned on first. How about that? Torch is on. Air is on. We traveled everything, made sure everything's correct there. Now, I was having a problem with my own torch before. It looks like I got this darn flash. Something's wrong with my torch, but no. Of course, there's always something wrong. So I don't know what it is with this particular torch, but it's been really problematic. I really hate the handle. Honestly, I hate how it goes and the parts and everything. I've put all brand new stuff in there, but now I need to take this out again and check and see what in the world is going on, because I don't know. I've put all new parts in it, and it still has problems. It's sporadic at best. So not a huge fan of the CUTMASTER, and now I know why people said that. Okay, I've got all new parts in, and I've got a green light go on the torch head. Let's see what happens. There we go. It was just a test. It was only supposed to go for a short period of time, and it worked. Well, that made me feel better. I need to order some more spare parts for the CUTMASTER. I just replaced everything, and the little nozzle thing, what is it called? The start cartridge, go figure. It was bad, even though I just put it in last time I was using it. So obviously, every time I go from project to project, I need to replace these. So I need a lot more than just the one that I had. So we get that ordered, get some more pieces that go inside the handle there. And this is awesome. We actually have a plasma cutting table. I need to order the liquid that goes in here. And I also need to learn how to go from my SolidWorks models into CAM. So I'm going from CAD into CAM, so computer-aided design, into computer-aided manufacturing, and create the G-code files, which will load into Mach 3, and we'll be off to the races. So I'm not going to be able to get that all done today. It's already been a full day's worth of work. The troubleshooting and getting everything all set up took me a little bit of time. Really happy with how this turned out. So grateful to be able to have a tool like this in the shop. We've got lots of learning to do. UPS showed up today. I'm not sure that all my stuff showed up. In fact, I need to look. I can just do that right here because I'm on the net. Does anybody else miss 2-day shipping? Because I really got used to that. Okay, orders. Where are you at? Because it hasn't arrived yet though. So it looks like tomorrow I should get my TIG parts. It does look like that's going to be the case. Yeah, it does. So hopefully tomorrow afternoon the TIG parts will arrive. The final TIG parts, which are the TIG sticks. So my plan is to monitor the 3D printer, which with the modifications we made today to just the temperature in the room, that is, we turned off one of the heating panels, tables, shelf. You know, I'm just losing my vocabulary. Turned off one of the heating elements regardless. I'm recording here, I'm working here, I'm working. I got that turned off and reduced the other panel's heat by about 10 degrees, about 10 degrees Celsius. Left the hood open, got the air conditioning on in the room. Instead of being 100 and some odd degrees inside the hood, it is now about 84 degrees. This is Fahrenheit, sorry, going between systems there. And fingers crossed, things are looking good right now. They have sent me a larger fan that we're going to be installing that should help with this issue a lot more to keep everything more constant so it's not as sensitive. So I'm happy to give them the feedback. So we got the grow boxes that we'll be printing tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get a lot of that done. We've got to add the TIG modification to the welder, which is over your right shoulder here. Now we got this thing all modified. That should be easier, hopefully. Knock on metal. And you know, we could actually, if I could learn how to do the CAD thing and CAM thing, then we could potentially even do some test cuts on the table tomorrow. So things are picking up, starting to get going again. That is cool, very exciting, and I got to get all these parts ordered. So hey, thanks for following along. Thank you again for the plasma table. I'm excited to get this thing going and start cutting. If you have plasma cut stainless steel, can you leave a comment down below with all the things not to do and the way that it actually works? Because we got stainless steel and I need a plasma cut. Now I've done some hand plasma cutting, but it's very spotty. So let me know what you think. Let me know your suggestions. Remember, other people will watch this, read this, and see your comments, so it's your way to leave a mark on the world. Thumbs up, subscribe, notify, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you really like what we're doing, Patreon is the place to go to help us out. I do need a new shoulder. Oh, I'm gonna need a new shoulder. So I don't know, can we plasma cut a new shoulder? Maybe we could 3D print a mold, plasma cut, no, that's not gonna work. I don't want a plastic shoulder, it needs to be titanium. I don't think we have the tools yet for that. I guess we can't rebuild him yet, we don't have the technology. What's that reference? This is TheRealMartian, out.